Now, I didn't think that Ghost of Tsushima would run that well on the Steam Deck, but after 40 hours, primarily playing on the deck, I have to say that I was blown away. Not just by the performance of the game, but its story. This will go down as one of the very best games that you can play on your deck. In this review, I'll be spoiling the game, so if you haven't played it yet, what are you waiting for? Actually, I can't be that hard on you. It took me a long time to actually try it out myself. We start the story off as Jin, a samurai of Clan Sakai. His father had died in a previous war, and as such, he remains the lone member of his clan. He fights alongside his uncle, Lord Shimura, the Jito of the island of Tsushima. A Jito is basically a lord of a region under the emperor, and then the Jito can have clans loyal to him. They face off against an invading force known as the Mongols. You're likely familiar with them, the main Mongol in history being Genghis Khan. You know, he's from that one song. Those are wild lyrics. Anyways, the main antagonist is Khotan Khan, the fictional grandson of Genghis Khan. The game itself is based on the first Mongol invasion of Japan, though it plays loose with the history in order to give the audience a compelling narrative free of spoilers from history books. The main theme of the game centers around Jin's choice to forgo the strict code of the samurai in order to become something more, a legend, the Ghost of Tsushima. Jin and his uncle, along with others, try to face off against the Mongol horde head-on in the opening mission and are rebuffed in devastating fashion. Jin is the only one who survives due to the help of Yuna, a thief whose brother was taken captive by the Mongols. When he awakes, he finds he was the lone survivor of the battle, save for his uncle, who's being held captive by the Khan, in the hopes of him pledging himself and the island of Tsushima to their cause. What unfolds is Jin's quest to free Yuna's brother, Taka, and his uncle from the Khan, and eventually drive the invading forces from the island. With the story set up, you're relatively free to explore the island at your own pace, encountering roaming bands of Mongols as well as Mongol camps. It's very like classic, Far Cry style, Assassin's Creed style camps. You know, if you played any game from this era, especially like the PS4, you're familiar with it. You can recruit allies to help you with your mission to free your uncle and eventually take down the Khan, freeing the island. Yuna is a strong ally and pivotal in Jin's journey. In regular life, the pair would be diametrically opposed, since Jin's role as a samurai forces him to keep law and order, and that would put Yuna in his crosshairs. Along the way, he learns why she resorted to a life of crime, as she needed to take care of herself and her brother after the pair were captured and tortured and made to work under one of the minor antagonists of the game. They escape that hell only to be left on the fringes of society without a family name that carries the weight of Japanese aristocracy, or whatever the equivalent is. It's a truth that Jin never really had to confront, and one that opens his eyes to the truth of the world outside of the rigid structure of the samurai code imposed on him. His uncle is the representation of that code, a man who would rather lose his life and the freedom of his people under his domain than win in a way that dishonors the code. When he hears of the measures Jin has taken in order to free him and protect the island, he disowns him as his heir, and even attempts to kill him for bringing dishonor upon his house. You engage in a duel to the death with him at the end of the game and are left with the choice to kill him, allowing him to die with honor, or spare him in the hopes that maybe, one day, he'll understand why Jin did what he did, and how short-sighted the samurai code can be. My choice was to spare him, but I understand why someone would pick the other side of the coin. The systems that hold this version of Japanese society together also hold each character back. Taka dies a death that can be seen as honorable, fighting against tremendous odds, overcoming his own cowardice in the process. However, it would have been better if he never accompanied Jin on that particular mission, and never ended up in the position where he felt he had to sacrifice himself. His value was not in combat, but in his abilities as a blacksmith. Likewise, this rigid society affects the character named Rizo, a childhood friend of Jin and a Ronin, as well as the leader of a group known as the Straw Hats. In the past, he lost a duel to Jin that would have allowed him to work his way up to becoming a legitimate samurai. It was made even more devastating because Jin's path to being a samurai was already secured due to who his father and uncle were. whereas Raizo only had this chance and it was taken away. This resentment festered for years and led him to betraying his people and throwing in with the Khan. This betrayal leads to the death of Taka and ultimately a final duel between the two former friends. As with the previous fight, Jin wins and ends his life. He could have fought alongside Jin and for his people, but he lets the past and culture control him and lost everything for it. At the end of the story, Yuna helps Jin take down the Khan. She learns that there is value in fighting for others and not just herself, while Jin learns that the code he lived under his entire life was flawed, and in order for him to save the most people, he has to become more than just a samurai. I feel like it's a great story for a video game and keeps you moving forward throughout. The combat's smooth and you really do feel like a highly trained warrior who only grows stronger as you encounter more enemies. Eventually, some of the upgrades do get a bit silly, like the ability to light your katana on fire, but it's a video game, so I won't let that negatively impact my feelings on it. Besides, lighting enemies on fire is actually really fun. I love Ghost of Tsushima, and I would definitely have to check out its sequel, Ghost of Yote, when it comes to PC. I was amazed that it ran and looked so good on my Steam Deck. I imagine that if you have a really high-end PC, it looks even better. I don't do ratings on this channel, but I will say that this is one that is really worth your time. And if you watch a spoiler-filled review for an old game for some reason, but you still haven't played it, go ahead, pick it up, and help Jin save his home. It often goes on sale during this various Steam sales, so definitely a worthy game to add to your deck or just your regular PC. So, what other games like this do you think I should check out and review? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe. We have new videos like this coming out every single week. And if you somehow can't get enough of what we're doing here at Wicked Good Everything, check out our other channels, which include Those Fake Nerds for nerd and pop culture news, Wicked Good Sports for sports news, Better Radio, which hosts all of our podcasts, and our newest channel, History is Wicked, where we cover cryptids, urban legends, and weird history stories. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.